Women's Council. I'd like to welcome you this evening. Thank you so much for being concerned about who represents you, your neighborhood, and your county. Thank you for coming. Councilman Helen Willis will now come with the welcome and, Reverend Henry, I'm sorry. I'm reading upside down.
I've discovered that when we all get to a certain age, we do things that are kind of crazy at times. Hello, everyone. Those of you that may be here for the first time, and as I look out, most of you all have been here many times before, but for the first time is welcome to the Kingdom of God International Ministry. We were having a discussion the other day, and we discovered that if you have run for office, or if you serve as a political leader in our community, then you grace this ministry with your presence. At a forum, or through a debate, or through other meetings that we've had. Years ago, we gave our ministry back to the community. We didn't want to be on the tail end, when things happen, the church steps up. We don't want to be that way. So we've always been in the forefront trying to be leaders so we can always make a positive difference in our community. So we're grateful for you to be here. We want you to know that if you need to use the restrooms in our educational facilities, just go through the double set of double doors and they'll be right on over to your right. You must make yourself at home here in this place. This is a place where we all make it home, so you're welcome to come at any time. You're actually in the home or where most of the meetings for the city of South Fulton from the time it first got started have always had their meetings. I oftentimes tell people that the real city hall is in that education building in the fellowship hall, where all the meetings have taken place, so we're grateful for that. I also have the pleasure of serving as the chaplain for the city of South Fulton, where we're always on our knees praying that God will always lead us and always help us in making the right decisions. After the prayer, I have the privilege of inviting up to the platform, and I believe she's going to go to the stand over there, the first woman, the first lady for District 3 of the city of South Fulton, none other than Councilwoman Helen Willis. Give her a hand. Come on, guys. So if you will you bow your heads and pray. Dear gracious God, we thank you for the greatness in this room, for the leaders of our South Metro Democratic Women's Council, for this forum that they put together. So that as citizens we can hear for those who's running for mighty District 6, who wants to have a place in our heart, who wants to speak on behalf of the citizens. So here, oh God, is the place where we hear them. Here, oh God, is the place where some of us will make the decision of who we're actually going to vote for. So we actually ask, oh God, that you just touch everybody's heart, touch our ears, that we can hear the right thing. But touch these that are sitting here, oh God, because they put their life on the line. For any time you desire to represent people, the enemy launches a full attack on you. So we pray a covering over their lives right now, oh God. But we also pray for those who are already in the trenches, already speaking, already fighting, already battling on our behalf. So just bless everyone here under the sound of my voice and make this evening one of the greatest evenings that will exist in the history here in the city of South Fulton. Giving you the praise and the honor and the glory that all those who believe say amen, 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 and amen. God bless you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the City of South Fulton, and welcome to the City of South Fulton, specifically District 3. I am not only Councilwoman Willis, who represents this district, but I am a proud member of the South Metro Democratic Women's Council, and I am so a charter member. And I was the first treasurer for this organization, and I am proud to see how this organization has grown. I want to thank Pastor Henry and the Kingdom of God Ministry for allowing our organization to host tonight's forum And thank you for the 9 candidates who stepped up to run for office and being willing to dedicate your life to public service. I also want to thank the 7 candidates, well, the 6 now, 5, but 7 did confirm. So I want to thank the 5 of you all for showing up tonight, because the first step is to show up. Okay? I also want to give you a little bit of knowledge. We have 123,000 registered voters in Fulton County Commission 6. 50% of the registered voter population is in the city of South Fulton. 36% of the registered voter population is in other South Fulton cities. 14% of the registered voter population is in the city of Atlanta. Specifically, there's 1,300 registered voters who live in Fulton County Commission 6 and District 3. Candidates, it's your job to get these individuals to the polls. Residents, it's your job to go to the polls and vote. On September 17th, 2019, all we have to do is vote. Now we have the candidates here who are going to tell us about the issues, how they're going to help improve services, and we want to hear their vision. We don't care about the drama. If anyone goes low, I hope that you all go high, okay? I empathize with you in running in a crowded field with limited resources. I empathize, but I want you to have fun. I wish you well. I hope you stay healthy. Good luck, and may the best candidate wins. Thank you. One more thing, we have to pledge allegiance to the flag. May we all stand.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Reverend Henry and Councilwoman Willis. At this time, I'd like for all of the ladies in blue to join me as I share with you the mission of the South Metro Democratic Women's Council. All right. You have before you, come on around, we have plenty of room. Come on around. Somebody can stand up on the steps. I just want all faces to be seen. To our audience, you have before you some of the hardest working women in South Fulton, members of the South Metro Democratic Women's Council. The purpose of this organization is to engage women of South Metro Atlanta in a wide variety of political activities. 2, provide members with substantive information regarding local issues. Number 3, organize educational and voter registration activities for the community. 4, identify and encourage women to run for office at all levels. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mia Miller, and I am the Vice President of South Metro Democratic Women's Council. It's an honor to introduce the moderator for this evening. Her ability to lead was apparent in middle school. By her junior year in high school, she received a scholarship to represent Briarwood High School in East Point as a Georgia Girls Program Ambassador at Middle Georgia College. Early on as a college student, first at Clark Atlanta University, studying political science, and later at Phoenix University, from which she earned a dual bachelor's degree in management and marketing. She further demonstrated a fondness for hard work and service. She has been serving the community for more than 25 years. Currently, she is the immediate past state president of the Georgia Federation of Democratic Women, chair of Delta Airlines Information Technology Learning and Career Council, recipient of the Paula E. Costin Trailblazer Award for exemplary social action, work for the Southern region of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc. A co-chair of the Social Action Committee of the East Point College Park Alumni Chapter, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Board member of Atlanta Victim Assistance and a Fulton County Democratic Party post-seat holder. She has led transformational activities, new program implementations, and educational programs. She has demonstrated a strategic, innovative approach to problem solving, a mother and a grandmother. She is family-focused and believes in broad-based community engagement and is an active member of Cascade United Methodist Church. She is passionate about helping others and believes the legislative process is critical to ensuring that Georgia's citizens experience growth and positive change. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our moderator this evening, Kathy Adams.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce our panelists for this afternoon. The first person we have is Dr. Yoshina Colbert, who has had a long career in civic leadership and community activities. She's a retired administrator and director of numerous research programs at Clark Atlanta University. She is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, and she is the widow of the late Reverend Willie M. Bolden, who has been a community activist and civil rights leader. Yes. Dr. Bolden. Yes. So there's Penny Rogers. She is the CEO of WCEG Network Incorporated. She's been a real estate investor. She's been in films. She is one of the organizers for the former President Obama election, and she works in the House of Representatives. Ms. Rogers. Mr. Phil Looney, Georgia State Legislative Liaison for Fulton County Democrats, serves as the second vice chair of 6th Congressional District of Georgia, and he works as a consultant for progressive candidates on messaging and focus. Mr. Moody. And now Mr. Bruce Moody. Mr. Moody has served for 35 years as an educator in the New York City public school system. He retired in 1995 as a high school principal in the Harlem area of New York. At present, Mr. Moody is involved with many community activities. He is the president of the board of directors of Friends of Barton Incorporated. He's a member of the board of directors of the Cliftondale Community Club. He's acting chairperson of the Fulton County Community Zoning Board, and he has also served for 7 years as a member of the Fulton County Code Enforcement Board. He also would like for you to know that he is the second African American to play basketball at Marshall University and inducted into the Marshall Black Legends Hall of Fame in 2011. And on behalf of our group and the community at large, we'd just certainly like to profoundly thank you for giving up your time and expertise to help us in this political process. Thanks again.
Hello and good evening again, everyone. Good evening. My name again is Kathy Adams, and I will be your moderator for the evening. Just want to level set everything and give you a few ground rules. I will introduce the candidates to you by name. They will tell you a little bit about themselves. I will only give you 1 minute to tell the audience a little bit about yourself. And at that time, then we will begin the forum itself. As we begin the forum, we will have the panelists to ask questions of the candidates. The candidates will have 2 minutes to respond. If there is a rebuttal, it will be 1 minute for the rebuttal. Our timekeepers will indicate time is up by ringing the bell. If you go over, we'll cut you off. Cut you off. So we are going to be a stickler for time. And I do want you to know there are 9 candidates that are running for the mighty District 6, as the late, great Commissioner Emma Darnell used to always say, and she worked so hard down in the trenches. But these 9 candidates want to vie to serve as her replacement and be your next representative for District 6. A little bit about District 6. It represents the city of South Fulton, Palmetto, Chattahoochee Hills, Fairburn, a little bit of Atlanta. You have East Point, College Park, and Union City. Did I say Hapeville? It is a quite very diverse area, but not only will you represent the constituents of District 6, you represent all of Fulton County. So they will make decisions based on what their colleagues are vying for as well. So you've got to be, we as a voter want you to pay attention to the messaging that these candidates are sharing with you about their talents, about some of the things that they plan to deliver, and we hope that this information will provide you enough information to make a very good decision on who you want to elect as your next commissioner. So with that, I'd like to say we invited 9, 7 accepted, 1 declined, 1 we did not hear from. But we had 6 that showed up. How about that? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So, and in no certain order, because I don't have them in alphabetical order, but I'm going to ask that they just raise their hand, and then we will go from my left to the right, and we'll start, and we'll give each one a minute. I'd like to say we have Joe Carn, who is here. Raise your hand. And Gordon Joyner. We have Sonia Francis-Rolle, Yoshina Colbert Bradford. We have Rafer Johnson and Warren Head. And by deductive reasoning, you guys figure out the other 3 that aren't here. How about that? So starting on my immediate left, you get 1 minute to tell the audience who you are and just a little bit about yourself.
All right, good evening. How's everybody? For those who don't know me, my My name is Jim Carn. I grew up in this community. I went to school in this community. I worked in this community. I've never moved away from this community. And I've been showing up, as Councilmember Willis said, for quite a long time in my community. I started out as a community activist in College Park and registered about half the people to vote in the city, I think. Worked on a few campaigns and went from community activist to council member, from there on to vice mayor, and hopefully on to the next commissioner. It's my intention to continue the work of Commissioner Darnell, who was my commissioner. We're looking for someone at the end of the day who's the best and most qualified person, I think, for all of our taxpaying dollar. I have experience. I've managed those $100 million plus budgets 12 years in a row. I've worked in Fulton County government, and I'm ready to serve.
Good evening. I'm Yoshina Colbert Bradford, a native of Atlanta, Georgia, resident of City of South Fulton District 6 for over 30 plus years, and a graduate of Mays High School, an alumni. And I've been, got alumni here. And I've grown up in Atlanta all of my life. I've done my career, my business has been in City of South Fulton, Atlanta, so I've been a real estate broker for 14 plus years. And I've served on the governmental affairs with the ABR, which is Atlanta Board of Realtors, which is now Atlanta Realtors Association. So I've been an advocate in real estate and also in my community as well, and I'm a member of Hunter Hill Baptist Church.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me to come out here this evening. I'm Dr. Sonia Francis-Rolle. I have the pleasure of being married to Dr. Gordon Rolle, who is long-term resident of South Fulton. I have 5 grown children, 5 grandchildren, and I have the pleasure of being born in Barbados in the Caribbean, lived throughout the United States, came to Georgia 20 years ago. And from the outside in, I jumped right in, and I have been very, very active in any and everything that I can be in the community. When I moved to Georgia, I decided I was going to be in education, coming from Massachusetts, working in the school system. I have been a public servant all my life. I worked in the school system, I came to Georgia, I have been involved in just about any and every organization that I can think of. I'm currently a member of the Aerotropolis Atlanta. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Warren Head. I'm a resident and native of Atlanta, born and raised. Southwest High School was my school that I graduated from. I'm a graduate of Commercial University with a degree in marketing and management. Most of my experience has been in the area of retail sales and insurance sales. I feel like what we're doing today is an opportunity to show you where we need to go when we talk about serving you. We want to be in this position where we can help you. This is not something that's for ourselves, but this is for you as residents of this district. It is our job to represent you and represent you honorably with integrity. And that's why I'm here today. I feel like we can do that, but at the same time, I hope that I'm the one that you choose.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Rafer Johnson, and I am offering my 53 years life experience and 34 years of successful business, government, and community leadership on the ballot to be your next commissioner for District 6. I have been active and working in this community for over 20 years, starting as an HOA president and one of the leaders joining these folks here to create the city of South Fulton. To create the city of South Fulton. As we go forward, I want to build on the legacy and the development of Commissioner Darnell, not only in the senior services, but also for our youth. And I'll talk more about my platform around economic development, because we have got to protect our area here, and infrastructure. I'm offering you an ethical, experienced person here to serve you. Rafer Johnson, Commissioner. Thank you.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. You are the court. You are the judge and you are the jury. And on September the 17th, you are going to render a verdict on us. To the South Metro Democratic Women's Council, to all of the distinguished current and former elected officials here, to the Madam Moderator, to the panelists, my name is Gordon Joyner. Where am I from? I'm going to let you decide that. I'm sure nobody's ever introduced himself or herself with what I'm about to say. I was conceived in Atlanta. And I was born in Fort Valley, Peach County, Georgia. Now, where am I from? I'm claiming the country. I grew up on a farm, raising cows, chickens, picking peanuts, peaches, and cotton. I look forward to talking with you. Thank you.
Okay, so we got a taste of who our candidates are, at least 6 of them. So we're going to get right into the forum. And let's do remember that as we ask questions, the panelists will ask questions of the candidates. They will have 2 minutes to respond, 1 minute for rebuttal, should there be one. And then we do have a few questions to get us started, but we will take questions from the audience. We are not passing the microphone around, y'all. So if you have questions, make sure that you put them on a card and you submit them to the ladies in blue, and they will pass them up, and we will get them to the panelists so that they can ask the questions of the candidates. Do want to remind you that Election Day is 9/17, that's September 17th, and should there be a runoff, that runoff will be in October. So be mindful of the information that you take notes, gather as much as you can. You want to make sure that you are well equipped when you go to the polls. So with that said, I'd like to start with Phil Looney, if you will, go ahead and ask the first question, please. You just started.
Well, since the card says Joe Carnes, I'll ask it of you. What are your plans for workforce development for youth, and how do you plan to encourage youth to vote and enter the political arena?
All right, thank you, Mr. Phil. Well, workforce development is very important in our community, especially for our young people. It is summertime now, and one of the things that we have noticed coming up, and something that's proliferating in the local area, are the water beverage juveniles. Now, some of you all will see these on the corners and large intersections selling water, and it's been an issue with the solicitor's office and with the police department as well. I think the policy in Atlanta is to take the kids home. However, it's a little dangerous, but the mothers and fathers, some can't afford summer recreation programs, so they'll send their kids out in the mornings with water, and some of these kids will come home with $150 to $200 a day. So it is an issue. It's something that we have to work to resolve and work together with. I think organizing with these young people with workforce development would be a way to organize this thing where they could, start a business the proper way without being in a dangerous intersection. And cleaning up that intersection is another big thing. I see these kids and the intersection's dirty, and sometimes I may buy some water if the intersection is clean, that they clean up around their shop. Because I'm not upset with entrepreneurial spirit with young people, but we've got to organize with these young people, talk to them, and help them go to the next level where they can have businesses of their own. So it's a big issue, and it's something we have to work on. Voting is very important for young people. We just do not have enough participation with young folks, and it's their money and their future that we're voting on as adults. We're voting for our children's future, so it's very important to get them involved and let them understand what's going on. We need to reconnect civics in schools. That's one of our main issues and things we also need to work on.
Thank you, Joe. Does anyone have, is there another candidate that would like to speak to that? Mr. Head?
Again, how are you all this evening? One of the things when we look at workforce development is most of the programs are expecting the individuals to come to the city or county location where these have been developed. I, as an advocate, have worked extensively in the Pittsburgh community in Atlanta. I am the current president of the Atlanta College Park District of the United Methodist Church. We have found that many of our residents, especially those that are homeless, and those in the age group of 35 to 65, who can't read, who have a 3rd grade or 5th grade education, and don't have the transportation to get to these so-called programs that have been established. That is one of the most important things that workforce can do to make sure that we can change the dynamics within the community.
I would say, speaking of workforce, it's to come into office and see what they've already implemented and improve what, can you, sorry, come into office and see what's already been implemented and improve on those implementations that they already have. Also with workforce is providing the tools for those who are in need or skill set to help those who need development in knowing what the skill set to obtain a job, keep a job. And when it comes to the youth, I'm very passionate about youth, is that I was on a mentoring program with our alumni. When we did have it with Red Clay, who joined for Mays High alumni, is that with our youth, I'm very passionate about, and I can honestly say, we have to start in the school system. And that's working with our council members, collaborating with other members and boards to make sure in the school system that we create mentoring programs for our teams, starting there first, because I think it's needed for
I'd just like to add to that as well. I currently sit on the Airtropolis Atlanta Collective, Education Collective. I also sit on the Chamber of Commerce. And what I found was that we have been planning to link businesses with young people. Right now, the Airtropolis, every, I believe about 4 or 5 months, they currently are providing workforce development training for high school dropouts. We have young women and young men. We are providing those for the community. One of the complaints that I heard is that Fulton County has not been participating and partnering with the Airtropolis Collective. So I plan on looking into that as an area of need. We have to have the businesses linking and partnering with our school children. Currently we have September 12th, the Chamber of Commerce is scheduling a workforce development forum.
Thank you, Ms. Rolle. And what I'd like to do is, you guys are going to lose votes because people in the back can't hear you. So as you respond to these questions, make sure you speak into the mic.
I believe the opportunity that we have is working with our businesses. Fulton County is the $1 billion budget on an annual basis. We have great companies like my own, Delta Airlines and Coca-Cola, etc. That's the opportunity to partner with businesses, both large and small, for real-life experiences for our kids. We can engage them and train them not only in the academics, but the real-life skills that they need for jobs. And I think when we do that, we can engage them in a positive way. As far as voting is concerned, we need to show them what's the with it, what's in it for them. Let's talk real-life policies like the predatory college loans and policies that would impact them when they graduate. When we put that towards them and show them even with as youth, when we show them what's in it for them, then we can engage them and get them to participate in the political process and raise them on upright. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me see if I can approach this from a little bit of a different angle. You talked about work, yet not one panelist, except the one next to me, stated what work they are doing right now. What is their job? What do they get up and do every day? what is the work that they do to provide for this community? I'm a lawyer. I get up and I go to the law offices of Gordon L. Joyner, and I specialize in civil rights law. And I'm very happy to announce that civil rights legend, Reverend Dr. C.T. Vivian, has signed on as co-chair of my campaign. I would like each of the candidates to tell you tonight where they work and what they do. I'm a former judge for the city of Atlanta. I'm a former Fulton County Commissioner. I worked at the White House. I'll pick up here later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Joyner. Next, I'm going to ask the panelist, Dr. Georgiana Holden, if you would give us our next question, please.
Thank you. This question will be directed to Mr. Johnson. Commissioner Darnell was a strong advocate for the aged. What plans do you have to maintain that tradition? I'd like for you to answer that, and is it okay if I ask each, I'd like each candidate to speak to that?
Certainly.
Okay.
Thank you for the question. I just looked in the last commission meeting. They approved a bunch of improvements and expenditures. That's the beginning. Commissioner Darnell absolutely did a fabulous job around seniors in this community. My parents are active 70-something-year-olds, and I get it from them. They won't retire. They want to be active and engaged, and I think that's the opportunity that we have. It's an expansion of the services. We have a vast district going from 20 and 285 all the way down to Palmetto. We don't have enough services to reach all of our residents. So the opportunity that I see going forward is not only doing what we're already doing well, but improving that. But I'd like to see more services with active aging in place. And I think that's the opportunity that we have ahead of us, and that's what I would definitely be supporting. They will have my full commitment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Dr. Bolden, very good to see you. As you know, Willie was an old friend of mine. Very good friend. And a good pool player, too. Commissioner Darnell, whose name I have hesitated to use here, everyone else has mentioned her name, and you specifically asked us to incorporate Commissioner Darnell's name. I'm the only one who is running for this office who can say that Commissioner Darnell was not only my friend, she was my colleague. We served on the Board of Commissioners together. Every vote that was taken on senior citizen services and senior citizens facilities, we voted together, which is why my name is on the Harriet G. Darnell Multi-Purpose Senior Citizen Center, along with Commissioner Emma Darnell. Emma asked me to speak at the grand opening ceremony for that center. Thank you.
Mr. Head.
I want to ask everyone here.
You can speak a little bit louder.
I want to ask everyone here, how many of you are baby boomers? If you just raise your hand. Baby boomers?
Baby boomers.
That's okay. I know you don't want to tell it. But that is the largest group of aging population that we're going to be talking about when we look at seniors. So we have to make sure that what's available is going to be able to support you. And when you look at the services that are available at this moment, they are very limited. County, city, and statewide. So we have to step back and take a look, and we have to get your input as to what you want to be able to better service you. And I think that's one of the main issues. We as politicians, since I'm coming into this group, it is our responsibility to talk to you firsthand.
I feel as though there is no coincidence that my stepdad that I took care of for the last 13 years in Fulton County died on April 5th this year. Emma Darnell died on May 5th, 1 month to the day after he died. I became very good friends with Emma Darnell because of the services that were lacking or needed in South Fulton County. We have had a crisis here in this area, and that is the reason why I decided to step up to the plate to take the place what she started and to continue on from there. We have a crisis with the personal care services. We don't need to extend services to the point where we need to look at what we are already doing. We need to improve on those services. We need accountability, because the things that I had to go through with my stepdad have been horrendous. So we'll talk about that.
Thank you, Ms. Francis-Rolle. Ms. Bradford.
I would first say I would like to, again,
Speak a little bit louder, please.
sorry. I would first say that I would like to, again, go into office and make sure that I continue to complete what Emma Darnell has already done. And I do have 2 parents who I love dearly who are seniors now. And as one of the candidates said before, we do have to speak to our seniors to see exactly what they need and what they want, and to know exactly what they want to see in their neighborhood, in their community, and not taking what the other community or other neighborhood has and just putting it here, but making sure it is a fit for what overall every senior wants. Also making sure that the seniors, the quality of life for seniors. Looking at community homes, senior communities, I see that as I travel and help some of my senior clients look at other neighborhoods outside of South Fulton. I would love to see more come to the city of South Fulton and surrounding cities in District 6 as well. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Bradford.
Well, in the public sector, I've worked for senior rights and advocated for seniors ever since I was a council member. In College Park, we secured upwards of $70,000 for utility assistance for seniors through our Lift Community Development Partners and Fulton County. On the federal level, we wanted to make sure our seniors were secure and had the things that they needed. Working with our congressional delegation, as well as our United States senators, I was able to spearhead and secure upwards of $30 million for noise insulation for our multi-family apartment complexes where a vast majority of our seniors were located at. We put seniors first. They're our most vulnerable population, and we have to look out for our seniors. Now, I'll be 50 about a year and a half. I am a granddad, but I'm not quite a senior yet, but I know I will be very, very soon. And we just have to keep that in mind. You know, we have to make a priority for certain groups of people. So,
thank you, Mr. Carn. Next, I'm going to move to the panelist, Penny Rogers. Penny, if you will, ask the next question.
This is for all of the candidates. Name one additional program in addition to the senior program that the late Commissioner Darnell started. What will you continue?
Ms. Rogers, thank you very much. On Wednesday of last week, I was still celebrating attending earlier in the week the grand reopening of the Southwest Regional Library, which has now been named after my dear friend, Mrs. Evelyn Gibson Lauer. Emma Darnell was a champion of libraries. We worked hand in hand to enhance, build, and expand library services all over Fulton County. I will continue to do that. I ask you to go to the Southwest Regional Evelyn G. Lowry Library and look inside where you see Emma Darnell's name, and you'll see my name. Thank you.
For me, it would be environmental justice. I drive an electric car. I pay for solar panels and a farm. I recycle. We have got to protect our environment. She was extremely passionate about that. We have a big opportunity to educate, inform, and activate people to protect our planet. So for me, it would be environmental justice.
Thank you, Mr. Head.
For me, it would be right for each and every citizen here to be heard. I had an opportunity to see her in action down at the commission. And she straightened out the commission chair, former chair Eves, when they were talking about removing community input to the back of the commission's program. That to me showed her integrity, her love for the people, and understanding that we would be working for you, not the other way around. And that's important. That is the most critical aspect of any one of us, whoever gets this opportunity, that we should be working and understanding that it is important that we listen to you. So that, from that standpoint, that is what I'm saying, and that is where I'm coming from, and that is what I've noticed from her. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Ms. Rolle.
About 3 or 4 years ago, Emma Darnell started a Children and Youth Task Force. And I was invited to sit on that Children and Youth Task Force with her. And we met monthly, we met bi-monthly, and that is a group that I would like to reactivate and continue to work for the children in our community. We have a crisis that you may or may not be aware of. We have sex trafficking issues in our community. We have poverty of children in our community. Those are the areas that Emma Darnell was a champion in terms of what she believed in, helping people who are disengaged and who have not had opportunities. If you have an opportunity to go to United Way website, they have all the detailed statistics on the poverty issues that we have here in the county. As well as you all know, or may not know, we have an issue with human and sex trafficking. I visited a home about a month ago, and that home, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rolle. A few things that Emma Darnell, what she stood for was sustainable communities, environmentally safe communities, and making sure that District 6 was economically strong. And I feel that we can do this by implementing everything, making sure that we have safety, which is making our community safe, our seniors, making sure that we involve our seniors and consider our seniors, and also stabilizing our communities. And we can do that through implementing all the programs that she has, improving on those programs, and creating new programs and new visions, and making sure that District 6 stays strong economically, environmentally safe, and sustain our communities.
One of the things Commissioner Darnell did fight hard for was economic and environmental justice. I do remember when this city was formed, she fought to make sure that Fulton County provided the same services and the transitional period and time period that Sandy Springs received in terms of fairness for the citizens of District 6 and the city of South Fulton getting back up on their feet. The city has made tremendous progress under the leadership, Councilmember Willis, Mayor Edwards, and all of the council members that have really made this city happen. And it's making progress thanks to her, and we're going to continue to make progress. Also, the Fulton County Action Authority, whose predecessor was the EOA, which was one of Mrs. Darnell's major projects. They helped out a lot of homeless folks and worked on workforce development as well. And I intend on continuing all of those initiatives and taking them up another notch.
Thank you, Mr. Carn. Our next question will come from panelist Bruce Moody.
Good evening. I'll proffer this question first to Dr. Rolle, and of course the rest of you after that. As a newly elected commissioner of District 6, how do you see your relationship with members of the City of South Fulton City Council and the Mayor, and how will you forge that relationship?
Right now, it is it's extremely important that as a role of District 6 Commissioner, that we forge relationships with the City Council, all of the mayors. I am a proponent for the Connect South Fulton that started and unfortunately has faded away a little bit. That is a powerful organization that needs to be revamped It needs support from the Fulton County Commission, because we have to have all of the mayors coming together to make plans for the South Fulton area. We have a crisis with each mayor making decisions, and when they make those decisions and don't collaborate, we're having issues with one mayor making decisions that affect another community. That's not really good for that community. So my goal would be to make sure that I sit down with those mayors in the communities and have conversations about how do we plan economic development, how do we plan for future business. We have transportation that we're talking about, business connections that's going to help with the workforce with the students and partnering in that regard. So it's very important that I will be the force to bring all of those mayors and the city council's members to have a conversation about the bettering South Fulton as a whole. And that's very, very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Well, let's start on this end and then we'll work our way back. Joe Carn.
Well, I've worked with the community stakeholders and leadership in South Fulton even before South Fulton became an official city. I've always worked with all of our colleagues, our council members. I see Council Member Clyde Mitchell back there in East Point. All of our surrounding cities, we're all connected. At the end of the day, it's just a line. I've worked and consulted with the different council members, and I support all of them. I think they're doing a great job. Some will call me for advice and things that we have been through, things that we have looked at, and hurdles we've had to leap over in terms of community-based economic development and all of the things that cities go through in terms of growing pains. When I came into College Park, it was just a speck at the end of the runway. And everyone who has lived around here has seen the development and the progress we've had in the city of College Park, the 17% reduction in crime, and we plan to continue those things. But as commissioner, our job is to follow the lead of the mayor and council of South Fulton and take those things up and run those things up on the county level to make sure we're aligned with the city guidelines.
Ms. Bradford?
Okay, working with the city leaders, surrounding cities, mayors, city council members, seeing what has already worked for them to implement what can help us in District 6, what didn't work, but also making sure that we're transparent with everyone, accountability, and collaborating on many of the issues that we have in District 6 and surrounding cities, and making sure that it's a cohesive and I would just say, more so just collaborating, making sure that whatever we do in District 6, it doesn't have a negative, it continues to have a positive effect on surrounding cities.
Mr. Head.
Some of the things that the commissioners do now are very limited as far as their role. They used to do zoning and quality of life issues, but now they don't have that role. But as a commissioner for District 6, my role would be to make sure that your input is being heard, because we have the same constituents. It does not change. But at the same time, it would be my responsibility to make sure that they understand and know that your voice is important as to what you want in your communities, whether it be new development or whether it be changes in zoning for specific housing or anything of that nature. So your voice is the most important one when we're talking about what's happening within the South Fulton community. So from that standpoint, that is where I would work with them and make sure that they understand that this is most important. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Head. Mr. Johnson?
Many of you know that I work very, very hard to lead the coalition with many members here to create the city of South Fulton. I see Councilwoman Gilliard here, and she probably remember years ago when we had a meeting with several of the mayors in this area to pull together what became Connect South Fulton. It was an idea of Dr. Johnson here. So the opportunity here as we go forward is working with all the mayors. For far too long, District 6 has not been invited or left behind. That will not happen with me as your advocate commissioner. I will be working with all of the cities, which y'all know I live in South Fulton. Y'all know I've been here for 19 years, and I will continue to work with all of these people, all of the council and the leadership, to make sure that we thrive together. Thank you.
I won't have any problem getting in contact with the mayor of South Fulton, because we've known each other since we were 18 years old, when we were both freshmen at Morehouse College. And then when we were sophomores, we pledged Alpha Phi Alpha together on the same line. But I won't ask him to support me in this race, because I know he, as the mayor, has to work with whoever is elected. And he has to position himself to be fair and unbiased, to work with whomever is elected. Probably everyone up here can say that they have support on the South Fulton City Council. I know that I have good government, ethical support for principle, integrity in government on the South Fulton City Council that I'm very proud of. I'm still waiting for, except for the two gentlemen candidates to my right, I'm still waiting for all the candidates to share with the voters where they work.
Thank you. Mr. Looney, you'll ask the next question, please.
Yeah, I'm going to direct this to Ms. Colbert Bradford, since she's a real estate agent. How would you deal with the property tax increase due to property values, and how would you deal with blighted properties?
Great question. I would say first, ensuring that the residents have a fair and honest evaluation, and making sure that we employ the appraisers who are not only knowledgeable, but professional in the field of appraising the value of the property. And to move towards light properties, I can honestly say I see it every day, and I see it every day in my community. I would definitely have to get with city council, work with code enforcement. If I personally had a property that was a blight property that was in our neighborhood, and tracking down the owners of the properties, making sure that we can cite the owners of the properties. It's a process, but making sure that we have a transparent process, and making sure that the process is an easy process versus a hard process, and holding those owners accountable for the properties that are blight in our neighborhoods, that are bringing down the values.
Ms. Bradford, Mr. Carn.
Well, one of the biggest problems with blighted properties is finding that owner. And we've had lots of experience in tracking down those owners. That's a difficult issue. One of the things that is an alternative as well is citing that renter, whoever's renting that property from that owner. And you best believe that renter will find that owner for you if they get that citation from code enforcement. Also, if there's grass this high off the ground, things that are not being done, code enforcement can come in and actually cut that grass and put a lien on that property until that bill is paid off. There's several tools in the toolbox that you can use that we've used throughout the years in College Park, but it's a big issue, and it's something that we have to deal with. We want our community clean. We want all of our neighbors to respect their areas, and blighted properties bring down the neighborhood. It brings down your property tax values. In terms of the taxes, the assessments, well, the increase was not done incrementally over the years, where it should have been 3-4% per year. And when
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Ms. Rolle.
It's Dr. Rolle.
Thank you, I'm sorry.
When I look at the appraisal and doing some research on that, it was brought to my attention that they're currently, the appraisals are not employed by the county. There's a board, and those appraisers are working, and they decide on the taxes. What I would say we can do as commissioners, what we can do, or what I would do, is look at, we have to create a policy because we're going around in circles. It's my understanding that on the ballot coming up, we will have, there is supposed to be a statement on the ballot that would allow us to put a cap on the amount of taxes that would be levied on properties. So that's a good thing. The other thing is that will have to employ additional safeguards in place to help property owners from expanding beyond those tax rates.
Thank you, Dr. Rowe. Mr. Head?
Property tax increases in blighted properties. When you look at some of the areas like Pittsburgh, Vine City, which are not in District 6, but are a result of some of the highest mortgage foreclosures in the country, you kind of have to look at yourself and say, wait a minute. You got investors who are buying property up like it's cereal, and yet we can't find these people. That makes no sense when you can go down to county records and know who they are. Now, all of a sudden, these are some of the hottest properties in the country. And it's pushing folks who are longtime residents out of their communities. This is the kind of thing that we need to be looking at. We need to understand that this is something that just cannot happen, and that's what our politicians should be looking at. We should not be.
Thank you, Mr. Head. Mr. Johnson.
One of the things about this is the authority of the office and using the office. The reality is that as commissioners, we do not have the authority over the chief appraiser, Mr. Robinson, or the blighter, That's the city council. And it's our opportunity, it will be my opportunity as your advocate commissioner, to use the office to work with the city council. And I believe, Representative Beardmore, that's your bill that we're talking about with the cap. It's the opportunity to work not only with the state, but with the city and with all of the cities to make sure that we get those blighted. You're absolutely right around the investors. And most blighted properties don't have residents in them. They're just sitting empty. They're boarded up. The opportunity is absolutely to go after them and work with the cities to implement some policies, some ordinances that will get those owners and fine them severely. Because if you fine them high enough, they'll fix it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Since we're on a clock and out of respect for you, just like a judge, I'm not going to stand up and sit down and stand up and sit down. I want to be close to the mic so that you can hear me. And I'm also going to keep it real. You asked a question about blight. Well, we all know that one of the things that brings blight to the community is not following the law and code violations. Well, my friends, people running for office who don't follow the law and who violate the code by putting their campaign signs in public right-of-ways are sending you a message that they don't follow the rules, they don't believe in the law, they say one thing and do another, they are code violators. Anybody sitting at this table from one end to the other whose campaign signs are at intersections in the right-of-way, don't vote for them.
This question is for Mr. Carn. What are your initiatives in regards to education, such as community outreach programs for students?
Well, education is tied directly to what goes on in the county. One of my initiatives is a city-county school partnership. These three organizations operate in silos too much of the time. They don't connect to one another, and they need to be talking to each other. Wolf Creek Library, which is a wonderful library up the road, the school, Wolf Creek Elementary, is about 2 miles away from me. However, if I go into Wolf Creek Library and I have a child at Wolf Creek Elementary, the books for Wolf Creek Elementary are not there. The lesson plans are not there. All of this is available via computer, where a parent should be able to go into that library, get their lessons plans for their third grader at Wolf Creek Library so they know what's coming. They have practice tests. This would cost $0 if our schools would start to talk with our other community entities. So we need to connect those together. And it goes the other way as well. When your kid comes home from school with that Friday bulletin, it needs to say the council meeting is coming up this week in community meetings.
Mr. Carn. Ms. Bradford.
would have to say I would definitely agree with Mr. Carn on that, and making sure that Georgia schools, that's one of the things about our property values here in City of South Fulton and District 6 that go down is our school systems are not up to par. Making sure that the city council and the school board meet, we can all work together to see what we can implement, but also making sure that we talk to the teachers and the administrators to see exactly what they need and what they want and what they will require to make sure that our school systems can live up to the expectation and have a higher standard for our students, but also implementing and making sure that we continue to build on the libraries and renovating our libraries, but also creating more study facilities, making it more student-friendly, and also looking for the college students who are non-traditional college students, who may be single parents or students who are working. There's so many things that we can do to improve our school system that we have to start with what they already have, see what is working, and also improve on that moving forward.
Thank you, Ms. Bradford. Dr. Rowe?
I just want to share a quick story. In addition to giving parents empowerment, that is key. That's very important. We have to continue to work with our parents and empower them to make decisions and make sure that they have input in their schools for their children. But about 4 years ago, I met Emma Darnell and invited her to come out to a Girls in Aviation program that my husband and I started. And our goal was to help the children in the community in terms of Hartsfield-Jackson, right around the corner, careers in aviation. Many of you that are sitting here have attended that. And what a lot of people don't know, Emma Darnell has died, and I didn't have a chance to tell her, was that about a week ago, I got a call from Mission Controls in NASA, and they wanted me to know that 2017, when you came out, House Representative Bazemore, that one of those young ladies...
Thank you, Dr. Rowe. Mr. Henry?
Our schools and education. You know, I've looked at this since my daughter has been in school. She's now 32, and she's a product of the public school system. So am I, so is my wife. I believe that the teachers in those systems are just as good as those in the private system. They go through, they get the same education. All the requirements are the same. But we need to stop focusing and putting our money into private institutions. We need to make sure that our money stays within the public system so that everyone can have a quality education that will meet their needs when they get to a point where they reach adulthood, so that they can properly function when they're out there. And we need the support of our area businesses. Those businesses, we need to ask them to partner with us to make sure that our schools have the things that are necessary to make sure our children are vastly and well educated. So with that in mind, that is my focus. That is where I feel we should be focusing as a community, as a state.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Mr. Johnson?
Again, the opportunity is the right person to be the ambassador, the bridge builder, to work with all of these organizations. I see Kimberly Dove here from Fulton County Schools. It's that opportunity to work with Fulton County Schools and the businesses. We need a major change in education. We keep teaching to the test. Businesses are looking for different skill sets. You know, IBM just changed their model, and they are now hiring for no-collar workers. They're not even looking for college graduates anymore. That's the kind of shift that we need to work with businesses that want to have a specific skill set, train our kids up so that they get the jobs locally, so we don't have to import people across the. So the opportunity here is to shift in how we go about this, and the particular role here I see as the commissioner is the bridge builder, working across that. Because the reality is, I don't have authority over Fulton County Schools or the state legislature, but it's the partnership that counts.
Mr. Joyner.
Thank you very much. We all support education. We all support public education. I am the child of two public school teachers, one who finished Spelman and one who finished Hampton. Emma Darnell, my dear friend and neighbor, we live right around the corner from each other. We talked education all the time, including kidding each other. She was a proud graduate of Fisk University, And we had the Morehouse fist jokes going back all the time. She's a proud graduate, like my daughter, of Howard University School of Law. I graduated from Harvard Law School, and we had those jokes going back and forth all the time. In that vein, I have a challenge for all of the candidates sitting here. Let's open the windows to the youth. Let's be role models to the youth. I challenge all of us to commit to you that we will show you how much we support education.
Thank you, Mr. Joyner.
By pledging to reveal our college transcripts to you by September the 1st.
We will take one more question. It is 10 after the hour, 10 after 8. We will take one more question from our panelists, and then we will go into closing for the candidates, and they are going to tell you why you should vote for them. So, Ms. Penny Rogers, if you will, please.
For each of the candidates, what do you know about the county's study to determine how much business is going to minority and women-owned businesses, and what is your position on supplier diversity?
I'll take
Mr. Johnson, yes, please.
the study. They're actually awaiting the results of that study right now. For those of you who don't know, the county does not have a policies against the law currently for the county to have a policy on minority or a quota on minority or women-owned businesses. They are trying very hard to do that, and so they've commissioned a study and they're awaiting the results right now. It is looking hopeful, according to Chairman Pitts. So I'm a huge advocate of that. I think that the opportunity, when you look at a county that is 1 million+ people, we're the only county that has over 1 million people, and we have all these Fortune 500 businesses here. We also have so many small businesses. There's absolutely opportunity to not only do that for the county, but also lead that for all of the certainly working with the cities and all the businesses within the city. So one of the opportunities I think we have further to that is, again, is educate and inform. We need to reach people who have businesses.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you.
Mr. Joyner.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. Yes, business development for women and minorities. Emma Darnell crafted the Minority Business Enterprise Program with my mentor, Mayor Maynard Jackson, for the City of Atlanta. She advanced it as the Executive Director of Economic Opportunity Atlanta before she came on the Board of Commissioners, where she and I worked together to craft, to actually write the Minority Business Enterprise Program for women and minorities as business and enterprise owners for Fulton County. And we defended it against legal challenges. I don't know if any other person sitting up here brought the Fulton County budget with them to discuss with you this evening. And I can tell you knowledgeably that Fulton County has over $1 billion budget for 2019. Actually, $1 million.
Thank you, Mr. Joyner.
Minority Business Enterprises in there.
Mr. Head.
Yes, Mr. Johnson is correct in his statement. The other thing is that what has also been stated to us is that most businesses know that they're required to work within those guidelines, even though the guidelines don't exist at this point. And that is critical in making sure that there is fairness when it comes to contracts that are set aside for industries and businesses within the Fulton County government. So that is an important part of the system that has not yet been established, but it's there. It's sort of like an intangible. You don't see it, but you can feel it. Sort of like insurance. So, you know it's there when you need it.
Dr. Rolle.
In addition to the study, the feasibility study that's being done, as Rafer Johnson mentioned earlier, the county has no jurisdiction in coming up with a quota in terms of the minority businesses. But what I would recommend to do, and that it all depends on what that study looks like. But what we can do is set a criteria when providing money to businesses, and that criteria, if it's well done, and it has a list of different diverse areas of which you're going to look at to do the funding, that is a good way of bypassing the law in terms of not having a quota. We're not breaking the laws, but what we're doing is making sure that if we are going to fund the businesses, that we do have a criteria that will require them to have a diversity by which they will have to follow to hire or to subcontract with other businesses, to include minority businesses as well as women businesses.
Thank you, Dr. Roll. Ms. Bradford. I would first like to say thank you for posing the question, and yes, as the candidate Rafer Johnson mentioned before, that is correct. They are doing a study as of right now, and I'm very passionate about it because I am a minority, and I am a woman, and there are programs out there that give us the information and some of the tools, but not as many, and it's hard to find. And you do have to dig and search and go over and over, and it's not, they always say the budget's not enough. So I would definitely implement to make sure that we put money aside to make sure that we have a program that will increase the visibility of minorities, like myself, not just women, but men and others, who are entrepreneurs, but also build in our community and give them incentives to make sure that they have to build businesses back in our communities. And just making sure that whenever the study comes back, to make sure we hold those accountable to make sure that we do work towards minority representation. Thank you, Ms. Bradford. Mr. Carn.
Yes, in College Park, we would sit in countless workshop sessions with developers that would propose projects that were really great projects, and I would sit and listen, and at the end of that presentation, I would be one of the first ones to ask, now tell me about your level of minority participation in this project. Where's your female business enterprise participation in disadvantaged business presentations and proposals within this project? And we would make them put those in there before we would approve or greenlight any of those types of projects. In Fulton County, there's some major projects going on. The library project, $275 million for phase 1. A lot of minorities could not get in that project in female business enterprises because the scope of work was too large. Breaking down the projects into smaller subcontractor packets is usually the key, and that's what we did in College Park. For example, you may not be able to do the brickwork on this church building, but you may be able to do the painting. But if it's all in one package, no one small company can do both. So you break it up into digestible pieces so that everyone can participate.
Thank you. Now it's 17 after the hour. We're going to go into the closing. I'm going to ask each of the candidates I'm going to give you all 2 minutes each to close out and tell these voters why they should vote for you, why you're the best candidate. I'm going to start with Mr. Joyner already.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your graciousness in moderating this evening and giving us a little bit of latitude also. It's not easy to look you in the eye, ask for your vote, ask you to let us put our yard signs in your yards in a campaign season that you were not expecting. There was no election scheduled for this summer, but now you have to pay attention to us. I am proud and honored to ask you for your vote. I have tried to define myself to you as a principled public servant who follows the rules and abides by the law, who has experience, who has the education, Morehouse, Harvard Law School, the University of Ghana, the University of Nigeria, the University of Ibadan in Nigeria, and the University of Bonn in Germany, who served as an official in the Carter administration, who served as an official as the head of the state of Georgia Civil Rights Department by 3 successive governor's appointments. I had the experience, and I won't disappoint you. I will tell you where I work. I won't tell the Observer newspaper that I have one job, when the Atlanta Journal-Constitution tomorrow morning is going to probably tell you that I don't have a job. I am here to advance the programs that we want of Commissioner Emma Darnell, because I was there working with her. Senior citizens, human services, the youth, libraries, public safety, elimination of blight by not putting your campaign signs in intersection right-of-way. By definition, that brings blight to a neighborhood. Thank you.
Mr. Jones. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you so much to the organization and certainly the moderator and the panelists. My name is Rafer Johnson, and again, I'm bringing my 53 years of life experience, 34 years of business, government, and community leadership to the table and asking you to vote for me as your next commissioner. I've served this district for over 20 years, from HOA president, served as a commissioner of housing, and chair of the board of housing, represented Fulton County on the Atlanta Beltline tab, and certainly in the trenches for cityhood. This opportunity we have, three focus areas I have. I will build on the foundation that Commissioner Darnell laid, particularly around seniors and the environment. But we won't stop there. We have to protect our youth and support our working families. When it comes to infrastructure, we've got to tackle the traffic. And we need to do that in a regional way. And this is where I can use the office of the commissioner, just work with the cities, the 9 cities in our district, as well as all throughout the metro area. And when it comes to economic development, I'm a graduate of Leadership Atlanta, and let me tell you, District 6 has the resources everyone else wants, and they're coming for it. So you have to choose the right representative who will be at the table, or we will be on the menu. So I'm asking you to consider my experience, my background, and I'm offering you an ethical, experienced person to be your next commissioner. I humbly ask for your consideration and your vote. Thank you.
Mr. Head.
As a candidate for District 6, my work experience spans over 30 to 35 years. I've worked in the area of retail sales and management, as well as the insurance industry, selling life and health and disability coverage. The other aspect is I'm a 14-year lung transplant survivor. This will be, November will be 14 years since my transplant. No, I'm not working. As a matter of fact, I'm considered disabled because of my condition, which is sarcoidosis. But if you look at the advocacy work that I've been doing with my church over the Pittsburgh community and around the city of Atlanta, as a matter of fact, with Dr. Nazira David, who used to be the manager for Fulton County Health Department, I think if you take that in consideration and the fact that my job for that last 30 to 35 years has been serving the public, I think I'm more than qualified to stand before you and ask for your vote. So with that said, I thank you so much for the opportunity to be in front of you tonight, and I hope that you will consider me when you go to the polls. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Head. Dr. Rolle.
I would not come here as a candidate and ask for your vote if I didn't feel passionate about running for Commission District 6. I have been an advocate in this community for quite a long time. And what I've done is I've jumped in and I've participated in any and everything in our community because I wanted to make sure that not only was I learning about what was going on, but I was also participating and fighting for the things that we need to uplift our community in this area. I have come a long way. I've taken care of a senior for 13 years. I have learned any and everything that needs to be done or know from the city of, from Fulton County in terms of their services. I have been, I'm currently a member of the Airtropolis Atlanta. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce. I'm a member of South Fulton, Keep South Fulton Beautiful. I've also started an aviation program for girls who just recently have been, is rotating at NASA with the help and the gracious support of Emma Darnell, who helped me start that program. I'm currently working on looking at building alliances with some of the businesses and students to help in terms of education. We have an issue in South Fulton, and Emma Darnell has been very, very gracious. For those of you who don't know, and to answer Mr. Joyner, I'm an adjunct professor at Grinnell University. I also have a small business, and I'm also working with several schools. I do volunteer work as well, and then I work as an adjunct professor, as I mentioned earlier. I'm also I work in the community with building alliances for children and the schools and education. Some of the things, thank you.
Ms. Bradford. Yes, first, thank you for having me, and it's been an honor so far just to be a candidate to start running. With 30 years of being a resident of District 6, I have personally and professionally been affected by District 6. From the economic downturn that we've had with housing. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, let me stand up so everybody can see me. Thank you. And the upswing of District 6. Also making sure that once I come into office, understanding what Emma Darnell has already done and what she's implemented. Making sure I continue to grow all of the things that she stood for, which is sustaining our community, making sure that we have environmental safety, and making sure that we take care of our seniors. Making sure all of our senior facilities are up to date, making sure that all of the housing and taking care of the blight, as the question was stated earlier, the blight properties that are in our neighborhoods. We have a lot of work to do. And one thing I can say from my experience, and the reason why I am running, is because I go to a lot of the MPU meetings, homeowners association meetings, all of the town hall meetings, and it's the same thing, it's redundant. We talk about all of the problems, we talk about all of the issues. But the reason that I'm running for office right now is because I'm a doer and I'm a worker. We can talk about and speak about the problems that we have, but then we also need to have meetings to talk about the solutions. That's what our meetings need to be about. Every time we have a meeting or every time we have a town hall, we need to make sure that everyone in the community, from seniors to millennials, anyone who is in the community, who lives in our community, needs to be a part of it. And building that bridge with the citizens and all of the candidates here, city council members, and everyone else. Thank you. Mr. Carn.
Thank you. I want to thank the Georgia Federation of Democratic Women for hosting this event. Ladies, you are truly a first-class act. Let's give them a hand. And just in general, the women in our community pretty much put this community on their backs. They have really carried us forward and carried us through. I would like to offer, obviously, my public service. For the past 4 years, my wife and I have owned a successful small business. We're doing pretty well with it, but we want progress for our community. I've served many years as councilman and vice mayor in the city of College Park. I want to take some of those best practices and help out all of our cities, South Fulton, Fairburn, everywhere, where we can work together. I've worked with our state representatives for many, many years and brought home good, decent legislation to make our community safer. So what I'm offering to this community is my experience, my love and affection and protection for this community. I truly love this community. My kids were raised in this community. My grandchildren are raised in this community and will attend school here. So I'm asking for your vote. I'm asking for your commitment as well as for your trust. And I promise you that that trust will not be misplaced. Thank y'all so very much.
So now you've heard them all. And having said that, I've not heard one of them give you a website. So I'm going to give them like 10 seconds. I'm going to go down the line, tell these voters where they can find additional information about you and your campaign. Mr. Carn.
www.joecarn.com.
That's all you get.
I have flyers in the back with all. I have flyers in the back with all of my information. Website is www.YoshinaColbertBradford.com. Thank you.
I also have some cards. Make sure you take one with you. It's SoniaFrancis-Rolle.com. You'll find my information on there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Folks, I want to be honest and upfront with you right now. I do not have my website up as of yet. So at this moment, I don't have that information available for you, but I will have it soon. Thank you.
RaferJohnson.us. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and of course on the web.
Thank you.
I'd like my son Shannon to stand up and put together the website, GordonJoyner.com. That's my son right back there.
Thank you. So now you have it. You heard from 6 of the candidates, 6 of the 9. We hope that this forum has been at least the foundation. We've set the platform to help educate you as voters. We want you to exercise your right to vote. Your vote is your voice. We know this is not a typical election season. Don't let it pass you by. Cast your ballot. Election day is on September 17th. Should there be a runoff, it will be October 15th. There will be early voting. Watch for those dates so that you can early vote, advance vote, absentee ballot vote, vote. And that's all we ask of you. Also, I'd like to leave you with this. Make sure that you select the right candidate to represent the mighty District 6. The District 6 includes 9 municipalities. Don't sleep that. Those 9 municipalities include East Point, College Park, Fairburn, Union City, Hapeville, the City of South Fulton, Chattahoochee Hills, and Atlanta. Did I say Palmetto? I always forget one. But what you need to understand is that whomever this new incoming commissioner is will only serve the unexpired term and will have to run again in 2020. So it will be about a year and a half to serve, but they will run as an incumbent at that time. But you, again, will have to make that informed decision by voting. And do share the information you have today with any other eligible voter that you know of, be it a neighbor, be it a child. Target our college students. Encourage them that when you send these babies off to school, that you get them an absentee ballot, that you make sure that they cast a vote so that they can have their voices heard as well. We need not exclude our millennials. So I'm going to say thank you again for the opportunity to serve you. Before you leave, the ladies in blue have some surveys. We want to hear from you. We only have like 3 questions. Give us a little feedback so that the next time you come out, and it'll be before September 17th, that we can improve upon the process. So I'm going to turn it over to Madam Chair of the South Fulton Democratic Women's Council, Gloria Jenkins.
And our panelists, a big round of applause. Before we recognize our elected officials, we have some very, very special guests tonight. And we want to present them to you. So I'm going to ask you to stand. Everybody stand, if you will. Thank you so much. You are our very special guest. We will have Miss Edith Latipo come and introduce or recognize our elected official.
Well, first of all, I would be remiss in starting with Senator Gonzella James. Deborah Bozeman, State Representative. Derek Jackson, State House, District 64. And Cassandra, her chief of Fulton County. And of course, Ms. Willis of the city of South Fulton. And any other elected officials that we may have missed? Naima. And Diana Gill. Thank you so much.
South Fulton.
City of South Fulton. Yes. Oh, Kimberly Love of the school board.
Thank you. Some of us did not sign in, so that's why we didn't know you were here. Before we leave, I want to announce that on August 14th, that is the date of our next forum, August 14th, and it will be at Cascade United Methodist Church on Cascade Road in Atlanta. Candidates, be a different audience. 7 o'clock. Be a different audience. Let me know whether you can come or not. Please respond in writing through email or text. Am I forgetting to announce anything? All members of the organization are asked to assemble at the stage for a group photo shoot. Thank you all so much for coming.